Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we'll be talking about cryptocurrencies, and we'll be talking about how Bitcoin and these cryptos had a little scare yesterday, and now we have a little bit of a recovery going on here on Friday, June 6th. But can we actually trust the bounce? Okay, we're gonna look first at Bitcoin. We'll start with the weekly time frame here, and then we'll zoom into the daily, the hourly, and even the 15 and 5 minute chart frame time frames here. But yeah, let's get started here. We're looking at Bitcoin currently trading at $104,640. Bitcoin has entered into my purple buy zone that I highlighted in previous live streams here. So you should be thinking about buying some Bitcoin if you haven't done so already. I'm not sure why it might have took somebody to the point where Bitcoin's at $104,000 before you decide to buy some. Okay, but Bitcoin is at a discount from the highs that it made back here at $112,000 Bitcoin. We did that around Monday, May 19th here. Okay, we'll look at the weekly time frame here. Bitcoin is using this 21 EMA, this white line, as a line of support and resistance. Right now we're above it, so we should be trying to use it as support. That 21 EMA is sitting at $94,000 Bitcoin. If Bitcoin for some reason comes down to that $94,000 area, I would consider buying some more Bitcoin in that area, because that is right where the purple buy zone that I have here for another. This is another buy zone, so I have one buy zone here above at like $102,000 to $105,000 Bitcoin. That's been triggered already. And then I have another purple buy zone, which is even stronger support for Bitcoin, and that's going to be right here between $94,000 and $98,000 Bitcoin, and that's right above the 21 moving average for the weekly time frame here. Anytime we get below that 21 weekly moving average, then you are at a steep discount for Bitcoin, and you should definitely be considering buying some Bitcoin below the 21 EMA. But some people are a little bit worried that that could be a bear market. I was actually saying that Bitcoin was in a mini bear market back in January and February, March and April, only because it was below its 200-day moving average, which we'll take a look at as we go into the daily time frame here. But I just want to give you guys the bigger picture here on Bitcoin with the weekly time frame. The last higher low on the weekly time frame was right here on April 7th, when we got as low as $74,420 Bitcoin. And we're looking to see if we're going to make another higher low on the weekly time frame before we go to higher highs. That last higher high being about $112,000 Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is doing Bitcoin things here. It's steady as she goes until we start violating the market structure here. Let's go into the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Daily time frame, okay. As I was saying previously, when we lost that 200 moving average back in March and April, I was saying that, yeah, this could possibly be the start of the bear market for Bitcoin. Bitcoin got above that 200, that red line here, the 200-day moving average. It got above that around April 22nd here, and it's been off to the races and up to the right since then for Bitcoin. But looking at the daily time frame here, Bitcoin is still comfortably above most of the moving averages here, including that 200-day, including the 100-day and the 50-day moving average. We're waiting for these moving averages to start going back up to signify that we're actually in a good bull market for Bitcoin. I'm not liking the fact that the 100-day and the 50 are still below the 200. I think as we continue consolidating or even going to higher prices here, these moving averages should start get pulled forward and get above that 200-day moving average, which would then signify that we are for sure in a bull market here for Bitcoin and crypto. But I understand there's a little bit of indecision going on here in Bitcoin and crypto world, and the bears are starting to make a case that we're topping out. There's a possibility that this could be considered a double top from what we did here back in January. where we saw Bitcoin get as high as about $109,000 and $109,358 on Coinbase Exchange, and then we only got as high as $112,000. In order to qualify as a double top, the tops have to be between 1 to 3%, anywhere between 1 to 3% away from each other, and that does qualify as a double top. So we still have the bears making their case that Bitcoin and crypto is double topping here. Okay, let me go ahead and start showing you the VRVP here now. VRVP is a useful indicator that I like to use. I have a standalone video that explains how to use the VRVP indicator and how to use it in trade using it. But anyways, you can look at that video to understand how to use the VRVP indicator. It's in my TikTok channel, and it's also on my YouTube channel. But anyways, getting into the VRVP indicator here, we do have a high volume node here at like $104,000 Bitcoin, which is kind of like where we're at right now. This $104,000 area should be support, which got violated yesterday. We actually lost $104,000 Bitcoin. We started at $104,000. We started at $104,753 for Bitcoin yesterday, and we got as high as almost $106,000. And then that was when the bears started attacking us, and we came down to $100,345 here on Coinbase Exchange. So we lost that high volume node here, but then we quickly reversed, and the bears, the late short sellers, the short sellers that showed up late to the party, they're now getting blown out of the water as we start pushing the price back to basically where we started at yesterday. We were basically at the same price yesterday. When we started Thursday, the daily candle here, we had 104,753. I mean, look where we're at. We're at 104,650. So we're basically, all this like price action just got canceled and reversed on us. I actually still think that we could come down and retest the low $100,000 area. I have a short that I opened up this afternoon when Bitcoin was at $105,000. I have my stop loss at $107,000. It's a light leverage, small position short. I'm not fully convinced that we're going to continue going down some more here, but if we do, I want to take advantage of it and see if we come back and retest $101,000 Bitcoin all over again. And if we break through the levels here, there is a gap on the VRVP that says we could come down very viciously and violently, just like we had this big upthrust from like $97,000 Bitcoin up to like $104,000 Bitcoin. We could do the same thing, going from $104,000 Bitcoin right back down to $97,000 Bitcoin, because there's not that much support in between this area. There's a big gap in the VRVP saying that there's not that many buyers or sellers here. The buyers were a little bit below us at $97,000. That's why I think the next high volume node at $97,000 should be where you should try to scoop up some cheap Bitcoin and be a buyer of it if it does get down to that level. And then also here we have the value area high at 94,271. That's also a high volume node where we could get some more support for Bitcoin. Also here we have the 200-day moving average is currently sitting at 95,184. That's why I basically highlighted all these levels here. The confluence is showing that, you know, this purple buy zone between $94,000 Bitcoin and $98,000, that could be an area where you should be trying to scoop up some relatively cheap Bitcoin. I know it's not cheap to say $94,000 Bitcoin, but cheaper than $104,000 if we're using, you know, relative numbers here. Oh, man. That's my downside targets here on Bitcoin in the near future. If we can't hold $101,000 Bitcoin, then we're probably going to come down and see if we can get some demand at $94,000 or $97,000 Bitcoin based off the VRVP. Very useful indicator. You guys should start using that in your trading. See if it works for you. I think it's a very useful indicator to figure out where the levels might be. Let's see. We got Unreleased in the chat here asking me about, do I think Bitcoin's going up or down? What's your opinion? Well, it does that almost every day. It goes up or down. But I think you're asking, like, what is the relative direction that it should be heading at? We should be getting a temporary bounce right now, which we are getting since we hit this high volume node here on the VRVP. This temporary bounce could, if we are going to continue being bullish, it could just be a higher low here, and then we could see Bitcoin go up to roughly $109,000, which is where the previous all-time high was at. And if it challenges that and continues forward, then yeah, we just recently made a all-time high at $112,000 on May 22nd here. That could get challenged going forward as well. But yeah, that would be if we continue being bullish here, and we need to see some bullish price action in order for us to go to that point. But if we lose $101,000 Bitcoin and the low 100,000s, then yeah, we're gonna end up coming down, and it's gonna be very violent and vicious. I wouldn't be trying to scoop it up at 99,000. Okay, I wouldn't be trying to scoop it up at $100,000 Bitcoin. I would be trying to get some Bitcoin and see if it settles off. And I mean, you could get front run, but I would see if I can get some Bitcoin at $97,000 or 98. Okay, 99 and 100 just, it's not a sticking level. It's a psychological level. But the real buyers are going to come in. They want to buy Bitcoin and say that they got it for less than $100,000. So we're going to see probably the buyers step in at like $96,000, $97,000 Bitcoin. The first ones that want to get in and say that they bought it below 100 grand. Okay. I see John's in the chat. You would love to see 94K Bitcoin. I'm sure some people out there do. And then you're asking me, do I think altcoin season will happen? Guys, I don't want to get too political here, but I mean, let's look at the total market cap here real quick, okay? Because total market cap will tell you when altcoin season happens and when it doesn't happen. Okay, we'll look at the total 3, which is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's basically all your altcoins here. Total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is at $835 billion right now. That number right there, and we topped out on total market cap here back in the beginning of December and towards right when Donald Trump got inaugurated. Okay, so I hate to say it, I know there's some Trump supporters and fans out there, but when Donald Trump got inaugurated, that was the end of your altcoin season. That was the end of your altcoin season, because then Donald Trump came in and he didn't really help us with crypto strategic reserve. All they did was they said they're going to look into it. They didn't say they were actually going to buy more crypto with their crypto strategic reserves. So that sent the market lower. And then Donald Trump then came in with tariffs. He was threatening tariffs in February. That sent the markets lower. And then we actually went ahead and did tariffs in April, and that sent the altcoin market cap lower. Okay, and then he paused tariffs, and then the altcoin season or the altcoin market started recovering here. Okay, but I mean, we don't have any trade deals here. And those tariffs are going to be coming. The tariffs are going to be coming back on in July. So, in my opinion, altcoin season came to an end when Donald Trump got inaugurated, and it's not going to start again until those tariffs go away for sure. Okay, so those tariffs are the problem right now, in my opinion. Just my opinion. The tariffs are ruining the stock market, and it's ruining crypto. You could say that, yeah, the stock market had a pretty good couple of months here, but that was only after they paused tariffs. Okay, what happens when the tariffs come back on again? Then what's going to happen to the stock market? It's probably going to dip down just like the altcoin market. So that's my opinion. Not trying to get too political, but I just notice these things. As human beings, what separates us from animals is that we can notice patterns when we see patterns. Okay, and the pattern that I'm seeing is that Donald Trump got inaugurated and the altcoin market dropped. And then tariffs came on and the altcoin market continued dropping. And then when tariffs got paused, altcoins started recovering. Okay? But like, are we actually going to get rid of those tariffs? And then could we actually start seeing an altcoin season again? That's my opinion. Okay, I think altcoin season starts when the tariffs go away. Okay, I think Bitcoin will still do pretty well here. We'll go back to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will still do pretty well because Bitcoin's considered like gold at this point, and gold has been doing pretty well these days. Gold is increasing in value because there's really nowhere to go. If you can't make money in the stock market because of tariffs, and you can't make money on treasury bonds because the government keeps borrowing money and no one wants to borrow money to the government when GDP is now equal to the amount of interest that they owe every year. They're asking for higher interest rates, and higher interest rates means that the bonds that you have are going down in value. You have to buy gold because gold is able to retain its value and it's actually going up in price. And Bitcoin is considered digital gold because there's not that much Bitcoin out there and it's really hard to make more Bitcoin. So I think that's the reason why gold and Bitcoin have been doing pretty well this year, because tariffs. Tariffs are ruining everything for the stock market and the bond market. John316 saying that he thinks altcoin season will come Q4. Trump will kill tariffs in October. I mean, I don't really want to make this a political channel, but Donald Trump, I feel like, backed himself into a corner because a lot of these countries haven't really done any trade deals, and now Donald Trump has to make the decision. You know, is he going to pause tariffs again and look like a paper tiger out there? No one's going to believe him when it comes to tariffs. Or is he actually going to follow through and go through and actually hit these countries with tariffs in July and then cause, you know, the whole world economy, the United States and the rest of the world, to go down in value because it's hard to do business because everybody has tariffs on each other? That's going to be a tough decision to make towards the end of June, beginning of July, but I'm not really seeing any promises here on the trade deals. I'm not seeing anything productive being talked about here. Bubbles is in the chat saying Trump talked today about recommending to Powell to lower the interest rates by 4 points. I mean, he can keep begging and pleading for Powell to do it, but Powell's not going to do it unless he feels like he needs to do it. We actually had a good jobs report today saying that the U.S. economy is actually doing fine as long as they don't do tariffs, right? Once we have tariffs, that's probably going to impact the jobs market, and then, you know, Powell might have to lower interest rates because people are losing their jobs and businesses are losing their business, and the only way to get more business is to do cheaper business loans here. Let's see. Sanders asking me about annual lease. Is that a request here? Is that one of the first requests? I'll go ahead and put that as one of the first requests here. We're gonna finish off on Bitcoin first, and then I'll start doing the requests here. Appreciate that. Thank you for making that request. Don't forget to hit the like button. And let me see if did I miss anybody else here on the comments and requests here. Old Dusty Taco, what are you saying here? Bitcoin will moon. It isn't bearish, is what you're saying. Three nights twice, and then a rejected bearish signal by a bearish hammer. I think a bearish hammer, I think that might be the shooting star that you're referring to. If it isn't a hammer, hammer is the end of a bearish trend. Okay, yep. All right, so that's what you're talking about Bitcoin here. We're still going to finish talking about Bitcoin. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other requests here. Keeping me busy here in the live stream here, guys. Thank you for coming on board here. We got a good amount of people on the live stream. I'm doing a live stream on TikTok, and I'm also doing a live stream on YouTube here. And I think John316 is over here saying no politics, but these clowns are making my bags go down. Yeah, it feels like that. And then I guess you want me to look at STX. We can look at STX as a request. Appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the like button when I go over your favorite cryptocurrency over here. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin here. Um, daily time frame, Bitcoin could be possibly making a higher low once again. Um, I understand that there are some people who are concerned about this being a head and shoulder pattern, but it could get invalidated if we go up to higher prices here, and this could just be the last higher low here before we make a higher high again. And let me just draw this out. If Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin continues being bullish here, and I just draw out this Fibonacci analysis from the level at $112,000 down to where we got the impulse move at $84,000 Bitcoin. There is a 1618 that says Bitcoin could get up to $128,000 Bitcoin. Okay, that could be where we end up going next for Bitcoin. Now keep in mind, Bitcoin can go up to those prices and still altcoins might not be able to get any juice in them. Because Bitcoin is being treated like gold right now because of tariffs. A lot of the big money players are putting their money into Bitcoin. When they start getting more comfortable with Bitcoin, maybe they'll start placing their bets on the altcoins. But I feel like a lot of the big money investors are going into Bitcoin and only Bitcoin, and that's why Bitcoin is able to make all-time highs while these altcoins are not really able to catch up. All right, let's go into the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. This is what I saw. This is what caused me to start placing my bet to short Bitcoin here. Is obviously Bitcoin has been making lower highs and lower lows. That's why we're down to lower prices here. 1 hour time frame. This 200 moving average, this red line has been acting as a point of resistance, and every time we get here, we get knocked down. We get here, we get knocked down again. Okay, we just got back up to the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. We made this V-shaped recovery, which is very interesting. Shorts were making money, and then late shorts got in, and then they put the stop losses in, and then the market makers were able to eat up the short seller stop losses, and we shot up real quick here. Got a V-shaped recovery, and now I felt this was a good time to short myself, short some Bitcoin once we got up to like $105,000 Bitcoin. I knew this wasn't a good time to short selling. This would have been a good time to start buying Bitcoin and then putting maybe like a tight stop loss. But since we came up here like this, I felt comfortable enough to actually put a short sell on Bitcoin, and I put my stop loss at $107,000, which is right above the candle wicks here at that we had on Tuesday, where we saw Bitcoin at almost 107,000. Bitcoin got up to 106,900. I felt like that's a good place to put my stop loss. And if Bitcoin does go up there, then I'm okay with that because I still have my spot bags, which are making me money. But I just put a small light leverage short because I'm not sure if we can trust this bounce, because every time we get up to the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, this red line here, we get rejected, right? Look at this, right? Rejected. We peeked our head above it and then got rejected. We peeked our head above it again and then got rejected. And we peek our head above it. I mean, come on, guys. How many times do I have to repeat myself? We're all human beings. We're able to recognize patterns here. I mean, I get it. Like, just because it happened once or twice doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But, I mean, the probability is that it's going to happen again. And then we're going to get rejected and come back down again, okay? And then I can make some money on my short. I take those profits from my short, and I can go buy some more Bitcoin with it, right? That's how we stay making money here, especially in this kind of market where it's almost like a trader's market, not really an investor's market. But anyways, yeah, that's Bitcoin in the 1 hour time frame here. I just want to show you guys that, and then we'll look at the 15-minute time frame. I'll go ahead and throw in some more indicators here. I know it's a little bit cluttered here, but I'll try to clean it up as best as I can. We're on the 15-minute time frame. Bitcoin did get above the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame, so that's the beginnings of that could be the beginnings of an uptrend here, right? If we could stay above the 200 moving average. So we're gonna see in the next, probably next couple hours, is Bitcoin going to get support off the 200 moving average in the 15-minute time frame, or are we going to get slice right through it and then start going down to lower prices here And if we go to lower prices, you know, we could possibly retest that 100K area that we did last Thursday. Well, yesterday actually. Excuse me. Stochastic RSI is pretty low on the 50-minute time frame, so maybe Bitcoin catches some bids when we get to that 200 moving average. You know, if it does, then I probably will move my stop loss a little bit closer, so I don't get blown out too much. I might move my stop loss to like 106K on my short on Bitcoin. But we'll see. We'll see if the 200 moving average on the 50-minute time frame can act as support. Now, looking at the 5-minute time frame, we're clearly above all the moving averages on Bitcoin. But you know, you can see that we kind of almost have like a little bit of a double top here, back at 11 o'clock in the morning here on Friday, and then also here at 12:30. This is Eastern time, East Coast time here. A little bit of a double top action there, which is sending the price lower. We did get overbought on the 5-minute time frame at 11 o'clock in the morning, and now we're making lower highs and lower lows here, so not looking too good on the 5-minute time frame here. Let's look at the MACD real quick. MACD is showing selling pressure, but the selling pressure is starting to die down. I'm expecting the selling pressure to kind of die down as we get closer to the moving averages here, and the moving averages might act as support, but that's a maybe, not a definite. Okay. And I'll turn on my little cheat sheet here. Market Cipher B is showing that we had a red dot here at 12:30. So you would expect the next dot is going to be a green dot, but when is that going to happen? We don't know. Okay, but Market Cipher B said that you should have been selling your Bitcoin at 12:30 in the afternoon on Friday here. All right, I think I'm ready to start looking at some of these requests here. We're going to look at annual lease and then stacks. And no, oh god. Is that the coin you want me to look at? Annual lease? Let me just make sure I spelled that right. I'm looking at the chat here. Appreciate the follows, guys. Don't forget to hit the follow and the subscribe button, as I'm currently trying to figure out what is yeah, I don't know what coin you want me to look at here. And annual use, or and USD maybe. Yeah, if I can't pull up on TradingView here, I'm not gonna be able to look at your coin here. Maybe you were talking about annual OS USD. It's funny to say that. What the hell is this? Polynex? Yeah, I can't really do much with this coin. I'm gonna move on to stacks here. Skipping that request for now. Stacks on Coinbase. Alright, so Stacks is currently trading at 65 cents, down 5.8% today. Let's go into the daily time frame here. I'll get rid of the indicators for now. And yeah, what are we looking at here with Stacks? So obviously Stacks has been seen better days here back on the altcoin season that we had in March of 2024, and then also this little altcoin season that we had in December of 2024. And it's just making lower highs and lower lows, and that's not good. That means you're still in the bear trend. Okay. But are you reversing? Are you reversing? As I start to zoom in here a little bit, we're on the daily time frame here. You look like you try to bottom out here in the beginning of April for Stacks. You try to make your first higher high, then higher low, higher high. Let me go ahead and get rid of this thing here. I don't need that no more. And you're getting rejected off the 100-day moving average. Looks like the 100-day, this blue line is acting as resistance so far for Stacks on the daily time frame here. And it would have been nice to see if this 50-day moving average would act as support, but you lost the 50-day moving average as well, so that's no longer in play. That's now going to probably act as resistance going forward. You got a high, a lower high, and this could possibly be the next lower high here. And now you're making lower lows. This thing is in a downtrend. Okay. And you could say this possibly might be a falling wedge here. And usually with falling wedges, they break out to the upside. And it's a bullish pattern here. You might be catching the lows here on stacks, or you might actually be seeing this thing go into lower prices. And if it does go to low prices, I mean, we could revisit the lows here back here on April 7th at 47 cents. Not good. Not good. I see Trade Intuition and company has just joined the chat. Nice to see you in the live stream here, Trade Joe. Appreciate you coming on board. All right. We're looking at stacks right now. I see a little bit of a falling wedge. Could be a bullish pattern here for stacks if it can break out of this falling wedge here. All right. Let me go ahead and do a Fibonacci analysis real quick here. So we got as high as $1.07 and came as low as like 47 cents. So we're getting really close to the deep retracement, the 0.236 retracement level for stacks. I would probably see if I can scoop up some cheaper stacks at 61 cents here. I'm hoping that 61 cents holds for you, but if it doesn't, then you could be coming right back down to 47 cents to revisit the lows there. Or you could even be coming right down to this other level here where we made the higher low on April 17th at like 56, 57 cents. So I'd be a buyer in between 57 and 61 cents. I'll go ahead and draw that out here for ya. Okay, I'll make my little purple buy zone here from like 61 cents to anywhere between 56 cents. And I'll make that purple for you. So you should be trying to buy some stacks if you see it get down into this level here. And then you can put your stop loss right at like 52 cents or 50 cents, depending upon how loose you want to make your stop loss. But I would be seeing if this thing could go a little bit further down and try to see if I can scoop up some cheaper stacks once we hit that 0.236 retracement level. Okay. But there's no guarantee that we're going to hit that 0.236 retracement level. You're not the only trader out here that can do a Fibonacci analysis, and I'm not the only trader that can do a Fibonacci analysis. There are other traders out there that are looking at the 0.236 level, and they might think that 65 cents is close enough, and you might get a front run, and you might not ever see 61 cents. They might start buying this thing right now on you, and I mean, you got to make the decision. Do you want to buy some now and then maybe buy some more later if it does go to 61 cents? Or do you want to, wait until 61 cents to get the deal that you think you're going to get on this crypto? But just keep in mind that there are other traders and investors out there that are looking at these levels here. And they're going to probably, some of them might get a little bit anxious and pull the trigger before you pull the trigger. And you might get front run. All right. And 65 cents might be the low water mark. Let's see. This thing got as low as 64 cents. On Coinbase Exchange. So, someone probably thought 64 cents was a good level to start buying this cryptocurrency at. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you're trying to buy some more of this, then there are other people that want to buy more, and you might get front run. Okay. And that would, if this thing starts going up to higher prices from where we are right now, that would make sense because, I mean, we are in a falling wedge. There are some people that are pattern traders, and they're probably thinking now's a good time to buy stacks as well. Now that's at 65 cents. So I would expect some buyers to start showing up here. I'll go ahead and turn the VRVP, see if there's any other confluence here. Yeah, you can see like right here we have a high volume node here at 58 cents. So 58 cents should also be a good support level. Like I said, this purple buy zone I already highlighted for you. Anywhere between 56 cents to like 61 cents. I would try to see if I can put some buy limit orders on stacks. Okay. And if Stacks decides to continue going up to higher prices here, right, we got the VRVP off to the right. There should be some, your first take profit target should probably be around like 75 cents, or this 0.5 retracement level at 77 cents. Then the next take profit target level should be this POC at 84 cents, which is confluent with the Fibonacci 0.618 level. So that's nice to see. I like to see that there's some confluence. You get the POC at 84 cents, and you also got the 618 Fib retracement at 84 cents. And then if this thing continues going bullish even more, you do have the 200-day moving average sitting at $1.17. You should consider selling some at that level. You basically almost double your investment when you get to $1.17 from the current levels that we're at right now. And then you also have the 1618 saying this thing could probably get to $1.43. And you definitely would have doubled your money by that point, and you should be selling something. You don't have to sell everything, but you should be selling something after you double so you can book in those profits. All right. Mara's asking me what's going on with Bitcoin. We just early in the live stream we just talked about Bitcoin, but I guess I also got some new people that came into my YouTube stream here. Oh, we got a good amount of people here, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. That's how we get some more people to show up in these live streams here. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Okay. I got rid of the VRVP for now. And just using Fibonacci analysis here, Bitcoin, right, came down to the 0.618 retracement level at 101,328. It overshot it a little bit. It came down as low as 100,345. Okay. This Fibonacci analysis I measured from the impulse here when Bitcoin was at $84,000 before we started shooting up to higher prices really quick here. And I measured that from $84,000 up to $112,000, and it spits out these Fibonacci levels here. Okay. I've been eyeballing anywhere between like $102,000 to $105,000 as a good buy zone. This should be a good area to start buying some Bitcoin. This could just be a higher low, Mar. This could just be the higher low that we're all looking for before we make another higher high here on Bitcoin. Okay. But I understand that the bears are starting to make a little bit of a case here, because you could consider this a left shoulder head and a right shoulder, and this could be a head and shoulder pattern. Okay. And just as quickly as we came up, like we did here on May 8th, when Bitcoin was at like $97,000 and it went to $104,000, we could easily go from $104,000 right back to $97,000 all over again. And that would be where the 0.5 retracement level is at. Is currently sitting at $98,000 Bitcoin. Okay. But we could also overshoot that. And that's why I have this purple buy zone here saying that, the next buy area, if this doesn't hold here, we should see Bitcoin come anywhere between $94,000 to like $98,000, right? The $98,000 would be the 0.5 retracement. But down here, you have the 200-day moving average, this red line at $95,000. We could see $95,000 Bitcoin. That's also confluent with the 0.382 saying that we could see $94,800 Bitcoin. So you have your levels here to play off of. If you think you can make a short, right, work out in your favor, you can short Bitcoin from where we are right now, and then cover your short when we get down to the 200-day moving average at $95,184. Okay, that'd be a pretty decent short in my opinion, right? And then you can use that the profits from your short to then buy some more Bitcoin when Bitcoin's at $95,000. Okay, so this is just these are just different ways that you can make money. We're still in the traders market. I feel like with all these headlines about trade deadlines and tariff and trade wars, this has been a good opportunity to trade your crypto, to be considering both buying long and selling short. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if you see Bitcoin come right back down to $102,000, $101,000 all over again, I would consider buying some more Bitcoin at that level, because we still haven't, you know, violated this buy zone here. It's not until we start losing, I guess when we lose the candle wick here, when we lose $100,000 Bitcoin, yeah, it's going to be a really steep, sharp decline to about $98,000 in my opinion, only because if I turn on the VRVP, look at this. When I turn on the VRVP, yeah, you got a high volume node here at $104,000. You got the POC sitting at like $103,000. But once you start losing 102 and 100, you got a big gap here, and you don't really have that much volume until you come back to like $96,000, $97,000 Bitcoin. Okay, and then you got even more volume here, sitting at like $94,000 Bitcoin. Okay, so you gotta hope and pray that you're able to maintain $100,000, $101,000. That's also like a psychological number for a lot of traders and investors. A lot of people will start giving up on Bitcoin once they see Bitcoin lose $100,000. And then the buyers, people who were showing up late to the party, they probably don't want to say that they bought Bitcoin at $100,000. I think they like to say that they bought Bitcoin below $100,000. So they're probably going to start showing up when we get to like $98,000 or $97,000 Bitcoin. You'll start seeing some buyers start to show up. They'll put their first buy limit orders in there. And then people who are playing levels and looking at TA like me and you, we're probably going to see if we can get Bitcoin at the 200-day moving average sitting at $95,000 Bitcoin. So that's what we got going on right now. I see my YouTube chat is becoming a little bit more lively right now. We got the Trade Intuition raid. Appreciate you guys coming on board. I see Jesse. I see Dylan. I see HRJ in there. I see Niter. I see you guys. I see all you guys in there. Niter is saying you never done Fibonacci. If you get a chance, you know, you should try to learn as much about Fibonacci as you possibly can. I might do a standalone video explaining the Fibonacci as best as I can. But I do have a standalone video, the VRVP video that I made on YouTube. And let's go ahead and take a look at YouTube here real quick. First of all, I do have a YouTuber, another TA guy here in the chat. You guys want to check out Trade Intuition, okay? Really good guy. He's got a good amount of following here on YouTube, and he's always creating some videos here and educational videos. He also does live streams. I think he goes live almost every afternoon, just like me. He just got done doing a live. I actually went to his last live stream here that he did. And I guess he brought some of his viewers over here, so I appreciate Joe for doing that. Okay. But yeah, you guys want to take a look at Trade Intuition, right? But let's just quickly go to my channel here real quick. And I want to just show you guys, I made a couple of standalone videos here. Obviously, you can see me. That's Meet Damien YouTube channel there. I see you guys helped me get to 340 subscribers. Appreciate that. It seems like I got like 2 more subscribers today. Thank you. Thank you. And I do have some standalone video. The most recent one that I did was how to use the volume range visual profile indicator. You guys might want to take a look at that. That's an educational video. And then another one is how to read the candlestick chart and how to read the RSI, MACD, and stochastic RSI. That's another good video that you might want to take a look at on my YouTube channel here. Of course, I also do shorts as well on particular cryptocurrencies out there. You can see me talking about PaxG, Shiba Inu, XRP, Ethereum. I do like quick minutes. You know, if you guys don't have that much time, you know, less than 3 minutes for me to analyze a coin, I got you guys. I got you on that YouTube short there. And then, of course, I got the Meet Damien TikTok channel where I got a few more people showing up. Looks like I got some more followers that actually came on board here. And, yeah, you'll see my short form content here on the Meet Damien TikTok channel. Okay? So, yeah, appreciate guys coming on board and hitting that like button, hitting that follow and subscribe button. I appreciate all of it. Let me see. Do I have some more requests here? Looks like... Jesus asking me about Solana or Ethereum. Oh, that is, that's like the age-old question in altcoin world. Should you be buying Solana or should you be buying Ethereum? I feel like those cryptocurrencies are like neck and neck as far as their performance goes here. Let's take a look at the Solana real quick. And then we'll take a look at Ethereum. Solana currently trading at $149, right? And then Ethereum, what is Ethereum doing? Trading at $2,500. I mean, Solana got as high as like almost $300 back in January, earlier this year. Okay, so Solana is like at a 50% discount from where its all-time highs were at. Ethereum at $2,500. I mean, I gotta quickly do the math here. Let me just see this, but we saw Ethereum get to like $4,800 in the previous cycle. So, just doing some quick math here. Let's see, 4,800. So Ethereum is also at like a 50% discount from where its all-time high was at. Okay, so you can see what I mean by like Ethereum and Solana are like almost very similar as far as performance goes. And I mean, you gotta pick which one you want to be in. Ethereum's been around for the longest, has more developers, but Solana is eating up Ethereum's market share. New kid on the block, faster cryptocurrency, cheaper to use. They both have stake in. They're both in competition with each other, so it's just a matter of which one which one are you a big believer in. I think you should get a little bit of both, in my opinion. It doesn't hurt to diversify. But yeah, let's get into Solana here. Okay, let's see what Solana's doing. I got rid of the moving averages. I'm looking at the VRVP indicator here. I'm going to start to zoom out a little bit some more so I can get the best data here. We do have the POC for Solana at $142. This blue line here. That POC is the highest volume node here. A lot of people have bought Solana ever since, like, I got data going back to like August of 2024. A lot of people bought Solana, at $142. Okay. Most of them, the majority of them. So the Solana investors, they're still like in profit right now, barely, but most of them are still in profit right now. If you lose that $142 level, that POC, then those Solana investors, they might start losing their conviction and belief in Solana, and you'll start seeing more sellers start to show up, and then then we might have to then revisit the value area low here at $117 just to get some more people excited about Solana again. Okay, that's that's just the short story of it, right? But the POC should act as support. We'll see if it does hold that support, that $142 level for Solana. If it does hold, then it's going to be a quick ride back up to. You can see we have a gap on the VRVP here. It's going to be a quick ride back up to $168 Solana, where we had a lot of resistance. And you can see that we built up a lot of volume here, anywhere between $168 to $180 Solana. If Solana get past $180, then the volume starts to drop off. You got a little bit of volume here at $190 up to the value area high at $203. That value area high will probably be like the psychological target. Some people are going to probably want to sell their Solana at $200 and be done with it. Okay, but the ones who want to push Solana to higher prices, they should be able to push it. And you got another high volume node here at 217, and then another high volume node here at 237. And that 237 is confluent with the 1618, saying that Solana could possibly get to $234, and it would just be normal. Okay. So that's my analysis there on Solana. I think $234 is your reasonable long-term take profit target on Solana. It could always get back up to the higher levels here where we almost saw $300 Solana, but we just don't know for sure. We got to see altcoin season come into play. And you already know my opinion on altcoin season. Altcoin season isn't going to start until the tariffs go away, or the threat of tariffs has to go away. Donald Trump needs to stop tariffing people and ruining businesses that are trying to survive in this tough economy. And then you'll start seeing those business owners who are struggling with tariffs, they'll probably start buying altcoins, right? And then you'll start seeing those business owners hiring more people. And when more people get hired, then people have jobs, they can actually put money in the altcoins. So then that's the reason why I think altcoin season is dead right now, is because of tariffs. But that's just my opinion. Don't nail me to the cross over it. Okay, I'm not trying to get political here. I'm just calling what I'm seeing. This is how I view the world. Okay, doesn't mean that my views on the world are going to be similar to yours, but that's how I view things right now. But let's go into Ethereum. Okay, I gave you the high. I gave you the price targets for Solana. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is creating a bull flag here, right? Just measuring this out from here to here. Let me get rid of the VRVP so you can see that. But yeah, Ethereum, right? Creating a bull flag. I'm trying to measure out the candle wick tips here. I think I like it like that. Yeah, we'll just disregard this little candle wick tip here. But yeah, Ethereum is in a bull flag, consolidating. The more times that it keeps testing the lows of this bull flag, it leads me to believe that we're probably gonna invalidate this bull flag and go to lower prices here. Because if we keep knocking on the door of like $2,400 on Ethereum, then Ethereum is the bears will start making the case that we're going to lower prices here, and we might have to start revisiting $1,800 or $1,900 Ethereum just to get people excited about Ethereum again. I don't think Ethereum will actually go down to that level, okay, but it's a possibility. It's always a possibility. I do have the Fibonacci analysis here that I measured from like when Ethereum was at $1,800 back in the beginning of May here to the high water mark here at 27.89. I got the fib levels here, and it seems as though Ethereum was respecting the 0.618 retracement. That's when buyers started showing up here. We actually came a little bit lower than that. My Fibonacci is, you don't really have to hold it to the T. It just gives you an idea. It's like where buyers might start showing up. And buyers started showing up on Coinbase Exchange when Ethereum got down to like 23.92 yesterday. Okay. And then we also got as low as 23.84 earlier on Friday here. And short sellers have got blown out of the water. The late short sellers, the short sellers that showed up late to the party, are getting their stops eaten away as we push to higher prices here on Ethereum. But you could make the case that if Ethereum can't get above to the 0.786 retracement at 2,586, then this is probably just going to be lower highs here, at least on the daily time frame, and then possibly we could be in a downtrend where we make lower lows again. And if we make a lower low and we start knocking on $2,400 again, that level might not be able to hold anymore, and we might come down probably to the 0.236 retracement at $2,000 Ethereum. And then there's also, maybe we don't go that far, but we come down to the 0.382 retracement at $2,100 Ethereum. But I think yeah, 0.236 and 0.382 should be some levels to target if you're short selling Ethereum. You want to start covering at $2,100 or $2,000 Ethereum. And you could probably do a close in reverse and just start buying Ethereum again. Because I think there are other traders and investors around the world that are eyeballing these levels here. 0.236 at 2,000. And also, like, $2,000 Ethereum is like a psychological number where a lot of investors around the world will be like, yeah, I'm going to buy some Ethereum, but I don't want to buy it right now. I'll buy it at $2,000. Or it might even go below $2,000, and they'll really get excited to buy some Ethereum at that price. All right, I see Porky's in the chat. Appreciate you coming in, Porky. Let's see, what are you guys saying over here? Porky's just saying hi to people. Happy Friday. Okay. John here saying there's some DGen legends in the chat. Just trying to learn from the experts. Okay, that's funny. And then let's see. Dylan saying doing good. You stream every weekday, same hour, or when you have time. Dylan, are you asking me that, or are you asking Porky? I know Porky he live streams. Him being a West Coast guy, he live streams around like 8 o'clock his time, which is like around like 11 o'clock my time here in the East Coast. Sometimes a little bit earlier than that. Sometimes he goes live at like 7 o'clock Pacific time, and I can see him at like 10 o'clock East Coast time. But me, I try to live stream whenever I can, whenever I got free time. When I'm not busy with my rental car business, I'll try to go live. Usually I can do that, in the afternoons here. And then, late at night, I'm busy again. So, yeah, I usually go live anywhere. You can find me live streaming anywhere between like 12 p.m. East Coast time to like 6 p.m. East Coast time. Mondays and Tuesdays are not that busy for my rental car business, so I actually can live stream late at night sometimes, and sometimes you might see me at like 8 o'clock East Coast time. We did like a nice live stream on Monday around 8 p.m. and I got a good amount of people that showed up to that stream. I might have to do that again on Monday. Do like an 8 p.m. Eastern time live stream here. But let's get into some more Ethereum here, okay? I'll go ahead and turn on some more indicators here. Get this chart all cluttered up for you guys. All right, I'm just making jokes. Let's see, Ethereum on the daily time frame here. We got some selling pressure showing up here. Let's see. We obviously were overbought back here in the beginning of May. At RSI of like 85, and we've just been making lower highs here on the RSI, lower lows here, just cooling off. Ethereum is just cooling down on the oscillators here in the daily time frame here. Let's go ahead into the 1 hour time frame, see what Ethereum is doing on the 1 hour time frame. Just like Bitcoin, as I noticed, because we talked about Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. Ethereum is just making lower highs here on the 1 hour time frame, starting from May 28th here. Then the next lower high here was like June 4th, and then this was also another lower high here on June 5th. And then could this possibly be another lower high here on Ethereum on the 1 hour time frame, June 6th? Today being Friday, June 6th. I think it might be. I think we could possibly be making a lower high here on Ethereum. Ethereum's last high, this Friday was at 11 o'clock Eastern time. We got as high as like 2,533. We're a little bit below that right now. RSI is still making lower highs here on the hourly time frame here. And then MACD, here's the thing that I'm worried about with Ethereum on the 1 hour time frame. The MACD, right? We did have some buying pressure earlier this morning, but after 11 o'clock, that buying pressure is dying down. You're going from dark green to light green here on the 1 hour time frame, which leads me to believe that we're probably going to continue making light green unless something crazy happens. News-driven event catalyst sends crypto or sends Ethereum up to higher prices here, and then we start getting dark green candles again. This buying pressure is dying off, and if it continues dying off, then we'll start seeing red again. And if you start seeing red again, if you're short selling it, that's usually a time where you might consider covering your short. If you're short selling Ethereum, you start seeing the red show up. But yeah, you could continue pushing your trade and see if you get even more red, like we did back here Thursday night. And then if you're short selling, this is just what I do when I'm shorting or longing something. If I'm shorting and I start seeing light, if I start seeing pink start to show up on the time frame here, in this case the 1 hour time frame, that's when I'll start covering my short, because that lets me know, like, hey, you know what? selling pressure is dying down, and this could end up becoming buying pressure again. But right now, currently with Ethereum, buying pressure is dying down. You should consider being in a short if you're day trading it. And you can start covering your short when you see the MACD flip. You know, maybe take a little bit off, take some profits, and then when you start seeing the red showing up on the MACD and you start seeing light pink in there, I would start closing out the short if you're trading the 1 hour time frame. Okay. But yeah, other thing that's concerning about Ethereum, just looking at Market Cipher B on the 1 hour time frame, you got the green buy dot here. That was last night. But usually after green comes red, so we're looking to see if that red dot prints, and we haven't had it yet, but I'm expecting that red dot to start printing on the Market Cipher B, indicating that, yeah, you should be selling your Ethereum. And this could be just a bear flag. And if this is a bear flag, then we got to measure that out, right? Measuring from the top here to the low, and then measuring this trend here that we made. Very nice, beautiful uptrend, but looks like the buyers, right, are starting to sell. And if this is a bear flag, then, you know, if we're breaking out right over here on Ethereum, this bear flag says that the measured move takes us down to like $2,200 Ethereum. We could see a 10% move down on Ethereum from where we are right now. And that could happen going into like Saturday, this weekend. So that's a little bit concerning. It's a little bit concerning. If you're day trading Ethereum, I would start looking for shorts right now. Derek is asking me, is Ethereum going to be dropping? It looks like it's going to be doing that. Okay. Nothing is certain, but the probability is that we're going to go down further on Ethereum here. Jesus asking about altcoins. Yep, we talked about altcoins. We actually talked about total market cap. I guess we could look at total market cap again one more time. And then Jesus is asking me Pulse Chain and Ethereum. Oh, we just talked about Ethereum just now. Everybody wants. All right, I guess we have to look at Pulse Chain because we just had some requests here for it. John 316 is asking me, is the rental car business or franchise? I rent cars out on Turo. That's how I do it. And then let's see. Dylan says, sucks living on the other side of the world, streaming when it's getting night/morning for me. Okay. All right. Then Porky's asking me about how is the rental car business doing. These are the best months for rental cars, for the rental car business, Porky, because you got weddings, and then you got vacations, summer vacations, as well as the people that normally need the car because their car broke down or whatever. So I get local people, and then I got people coming into town that want to rent cars from me. And these are the best months. And then things kind of die down around like January, February. That's when I have to lower my prices and give out a little bit more perks just to get some business going. But yeah, right after Christmas time, things slow down in the rental car business. But now things are picking up. All right, let's see. And right now, yeah, all my rental cars are rented out right now. So if that gives you an idea of how business is going with that. All right, we'll look at the Pulse Chain. Take a look at the Pulse Chain. So this is always a hard cryptocurrency for me to figure out how to pick the right one here. But I believe this is Pulse Chain. And is this the price that we're looking at right now? 27.06, up 3.98% today. Got some green candles showing up on the 1 hour time frame. Let me zoom out to the daily time frame here. And yeah, it looks like Pulse Chain has seen better days here. back in December and February as well. But I believe Pulse Chain is just making a lower high and making lower lows. We bottom out here in April, like a lot of these other altcoins did. But this thing is, let's see. Could this be? I mean, I know you're trying to make highs here, but is this going to be considered a lower high here at 42.18 for Pulse Chain? I don't know. We got to get past 42.18 for me to be more bullish on Pulse Chain here. I've done previous analysis, Fibonacci analysis here. Looks like you came down to the 0.236 retracement level. 0.236 is at 25.04. We came down to 24.74 yesterday. Okay, on Pulse Chain. I'll just hide this for now. Hide it, yeah. So we came down to 24.74, which was where the 0.236 retracement level was at for Pulse Chain. Could we be getting a bounce here? Well, the MACD, right? The MACD is showing selling pressure is dying off right now on Pulse Chain. Okay. And it looks like you had your red dot here on Market Cipher B. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. But this red dot here on Friday, May 23rd was when you should have been selling your Pulse Chain. And now you're just waiting for that green dot to show up to confirm that you should be buying Pulse Chain. But Pulse Chain, I don't know, it could be reversing right now from that 0.236 retracement. I would plan on buying Pulse Chain right now and then put a stop loss at like maybe just below this candle wick, somewhere at like maybe 2400. And if it can't hold 2400, then there's something wrong with it and you probably don't want anything to do with it. But yeah, I would probably put a stop loss at 2400 and see if that holds. And you might be getting the lows for Pulse Chain right now. And then once again, you want to see Pulse Chain get above this recent high here at 42.18 to confirm that you're making higher highs, and then this would just be a higher low. Okay, so you got your low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You want to start making another higher high to confirm that you're in an uptrend and that this thing is still bullish. But yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that selling pressure is dying down on the MACD, but you want to keep seeing pink candles showing up on the MACD here to confirm that the selling pressure is dying off. And even better would be if you start seeing green candles showing up on the MACD, then yeah, that means the buyers are actually showing up to the party here. They're bidding up this this asset. All right. Let's see. Got a good amount of people on the TikTok stream. Got a question here. Somebody wants me to look at XRP. We can look at XRP. And then let's see, XRP. Someone asked me, can I check auction? All right, I'll put that as one of the requests here. Auction, if I can find it. Is that a crypto or a stock? If you don't mind telling me. And then Circle is an easy play. All right, yeah, I know Circle just came on the stock market, but be careful when something goes on the stock market, when something IPOs like Circle, you could get caught off guard. This might be the high water mark. You know, I know Coinbase IPO'd back in 2021, in April of 2021, got as high as like $420, and Coinbase has never been back at $420. You were buying the top, so be careful with Circle. At least buying right now. I would try to see if you can get some discounts later on Circle. But I mean, you could buy now. I would just start a small position, see how it trades first before I would buy more of it. Let's look at XRP. We're looking at XRP currently trading at $2.17. We're on the daily time frame here for XRP. Let me turn the moving averages because the moving averages were pretty important for XRP. XRP, for the most part, this red line, the 200-day moving average, has been acting as support for XRP. We briefly came below that support back here in April, and then we came right above it like a couple of days later. That was good to see that XRP was still staying strong. But XRP hasn't been able to get the kind of animal spirit buying that it did back here in November of 2024. Okay. So XRP is also in a downtrend because of that. Because we topped out here in January, right when Donald Trump got inaugurated. You know, in my opinion, as soon as he got inaugurated, that was the end of altcoin season. Because he started doing tariffs and killing off any excitement about altcoins here. We made another lower high here on March 3rd for XRP. And then here we are with another lower high here in May. And that's a trend, guys, okay? You're in a downtrend on XRP, okay? You have to start making higher highs here again. The last higher high that we needed to beat is $2.65. I wouldn't be bullish on XRP until we get past 265 here, okay? What is concerning now is that XRP is below the 200-day moving average. This 200-day moving average was acting as support for the most part, but we lost it again. Are we going to continue going lower on XRP? And if we do go lower, how low can we go? Well, the last recent low back here on April 7th was $1.61. Could XRP end up coming back down to $1.61 before we get a retest to then go to higher prices? Right? I think $1.61 is still in play as long as we're below the 200-day moving average. Okay? But let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP here, and I'll start making the bull case here for XRP. The bull case here is that the POC is at $2.41. Okay? If you can get past $2.41, which is going to be a significant resistance level for XRP, then you'll end up testing the value area high here at $2.65. Remember, I said XRP needs to get above $2.65 in order for us to be creating a higher high here. Okay? Once you create that higher high, XRP bulls, professional traders and investors around the world will see that, and they'll probably start setting XRP to higher prices. And when it does, it's going to happen really quick, really fast, that we're going to see a drop here in the VRVP here, in the volume here, and you won't get any significant resistance until you get to like $3.12 here on XRP. $3.12 should be your long-term take profit target on XRP. We could go higher than that, but there's going to be some resistance at that level there. Okay, just keep that in mind. That should be your long-term take profit target on XRP. All right, and I think we'll move on to auction here. Let's take a look at auction. Wow, okay, interesting. Let me get a drink of water for this. So we are looking at auction right now, currently trading at $10.48, up 5% today. And on a day where some cryptos are struggling, that's good to see. Let me get rid of some of this crazy indicators here. Get rid of the moving averages here. Actually, you know, I'll just do this. There we go. We got a naked chart now. What the hell is this? What was going? So we had like a crazy bull run here, exponential blow off top here in March of 2025 here. This thing has been trading, at least on Binance Exchange, it's been trading anywhere between like 10 to 15 bucks here. Okay. And then something happened right after the beginning of March here that sent this thing up to crazy prices here on Binance Exchange, where we saw this thing as high as 68 bucks. It immediately reversed and then come down. You lost 39% the next day, came down and closed out at 31 bucks. This is crazy. And now it looks like you're just bottoming out here. You're back to the same prices that you were at back here in January, and yeah. This is crazy ridiculous in my opinion here. Are you bottoming out? Let me see if we're getting some bullish divergence showing up on the RSI. I mean, you could consider this maybe a double bottom here, a localized double bottom where we came as low as 964, held on May 31st, and then here 972 held on June 5th here yesterday. This could possibly be a double bottom. Let me go ahead and turn the indicators back on again, and we'll look at the RSI here. And RSI is currently at 40 right now. You look like you almost did a double bottom on the RSI here too. 34 on June 5th, 33 on May 30th here. Possibly, you could possibly be bottoming out here on Auction Coin. Let me take a look at the MACD here, see what the MACD is showing here. So you had some buying pressure here, buying pressure on April and May here. It died off. You got the MACD flip, and now you got selling pressure here. But it looks like selling pressure is also starting to die off, and you could be getting some green candles showing up on the MACD. Stochastic RSI, relatively low, could be lower, but I think this is showing that buyers are stepping up. So I do think buyers are stepping up and trying to buy at these low prices here on auction. And then of course Market Cipher B had a red dot here yesterday, but the good thing about seeing a red dot is the next dot should be a green dot, and we just don't know when that's going to happen, but it should be, you know, coming up before we get another red dot here. Usually you get green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. We have a red dot, so the next dot should be a green dot on Market Cipher B. And when you see that, you know, you should be considering buying some of this asset here, because that's like my little cheat sheet telling me that we're getting some bullish price action showing up on the asset here. All right, let me turn on the moving averages, see what that looks like. So we're currently below all the moving averages here, which could mean that this thing is undervalued here. If this thing starts making higher highs and higher lows here, then you'll know you're in an uptrend. But the last high that you need to beat is going to be this $15.18 mark here, which happened on May 10th. Looks like that will probably be where the 200-day moving average will be sitting at. So when you get to $15 on this asset, you should treat that as your first take profit target. You might get a reaction, you might get rejected off the 200-day moving average, but then if you're going to still be bullish and you can flip the 200-day from resistance to support, then yeah, you could probably see this thing go to higher prices here. And I think the next take profit target should be the sideways trading action here back in March, when this thing was trading at like 26 bucks, 25, 26 bucks. I think when you get to 25, 26 dollars, yeah, that should be your second take profit target after you take profit at 15 bucks here. So that's my analysis there on auction. All right, Sports Fanatic, you're welcome. I appreciate you making the request, and I'm glad I was able to help you analyze that coin for you. You were saying you were thinking about placing a long on this. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna place a long, right? I mean, you got to figure out how much you're willing to lose on your stop loss, but you can probably put your stop loss right below these candle wicks here at 964. So maybe put it at like $9. You can put your stop loss at $9. All right, we can make it even tighter, make it like $9.50 maybe, $9.50. And if it goes lower than $9.50, that means there's something wrong with this thing. It's still making lower lows, and you probably don't want to be involved with that, right? I mean, if it does go lower, then there's some lows here back on February where we got as low as like $8.28. You could try maybe re-engaging and trying to put another long again, and just retry near like $8.28 here. But yeah, it looks like you're getting close to the bottom. But this could be a double bottom here. Could be. And like I said, MACD is showing selling pressures dying off, so maybe this is the higher low that you're looking for. Alright, appreciate you hitting that follow button. Glad to see you come join the Meet Damien community here. Let's see. Should we look at Circle? I'll take a look at Circle since they just came on board here. I'm not sure if... Oh yeah, it looks like... I don't know. Is that Circle one that we're currently looking for? Oh yeah. Circle. Let's see. Financial technology company, enables business of all sizes to harness the power of digital currencies. Yep. Alright, so this is the Circle that just came on the stock market. IPO'd here on Thursday, June 5th. Opened at $69. Went as high as $103 yesterday. And here we are, we're at 117 bucks here on Circle. This thing got as high as $123 today. And I don't have that much information. This thing has only been trading on the New York Stock Exchange for 2 days. But I could probably go into the 15-minute time frame and see if anything shows up on the charts here. We got a 21 EMA now. Okay. And this thing is just in an upward trend here. Okay. Let's go into the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. Looks like selling pressure is dying down on the MACD. This thing could be creating another higher low here, and we could be off to higher prices on Circle. Let's go into the 1-minute time frame. Should be able to get... Yeah, now we got some moving averages showing up here. Okay. So Circle currently is in an uptrend here, and this uptrend will not be violated until you go below the 200 moving average on the 1-minute time frame. Looks like we kind of did that here around, well, actually about 20 minutes ago. But we came back up again. Okay, so that's good to see that it's able to get above the 200 moving average. But yeah, let's see. This is just a 1-minute time frame for you day traders out there, day trading Circle. You could continue being bullish on Circle as long as it stays above the red line on the 1-minute time frame here. This 200 moving average. Once you lose the 200 moving average on the 1-minute time frame, then you have to start considering maybe selling Circle, taking profit, and maybe entering a short if you're able to short it. But there's really not that much data on this stock here. I would just tread careful here with Circle. Let's see, 15-minute time frame, RSI almost got overbought here on Friday. So maybe this thing does need to go to higher prices before we get a significant pullback on Circle. Hey, what happened to my guys here on YouTube? You guys stopped talking. I think I'm gonna be ending this live stream soon here. I think I went through all the requests here. Did I forget any requests here? Let's make sure we hit that like button before we end this live stream here. I'm gonna go hit the gym and do some other things here. But I guess we'll finish off by looking at Bitcoin. In my opinion, I think Bitcoin could continue to go to lower prices here, right? Looking at the price of Bitcoin currently at 104,731. We're on the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin, so this is kind of like day trading Bitcoin right now. We got some selling pressure showing up here. I think on the 15-minute time frame, if we lose this 200 moving average, then we have to consider this to be possibly a lower high here on Bitcoin. And then once again, we're probably going to be heading down to lower prices here for Bitcoin. We had a red dot showed up at 11:30 this East Coast time, 11:30 in the morning, saying that you should have been selling your Bitcoin around that time. But if we get buyers and bidders to start showing up here at the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame, which is currently sitting at we'll just say $104,000 Bitcoin. If we get a reaction and they're able to defend that level, then yeah, I think maybe Bitcoin could go to higher prices here. Moving on to the 1 hour time frame here. The reason why I'm still bearish on Bitcoin is because we are making lower highs here on the 1 hour time frame, and we keep getting rejected off the 200 moving average. I mean, we peek our head above it only for us to go below it. You see that one time here on June 3rd, then we did that again here on June 5th, and are we doing that again here? Also on the 1 hour time frame, I see buying pressure starting to die down on the MACD, so that's a little bit concerning. And yeah, 200 moving average currently sitting at 104,800. Could this act as resistance again and send us down to lower prices like it's been doing for like the last few days here? And if it does go to lower prices, where could it go? We could revisit that $100,000 level all over again, see if there's any more buyers at that level there. But zooming out to the daily time frame here, if we lose $100,000 Bitcoin, right, then I don't think buyers are going to actually show up until we get down to like $98,000 or even $94,000. So that's my summary analysis on Bitcoin. Be careful out there, guys. It would be nice to see Bitcoin go to higher prices here, right? But right now, it looks like we're still in a downtrend on Bitcoin until buyers start showing up here. And that's going to be it for this live stream. Guys, I appreciate the likes, the comments, the requests, the subscribes, and the follows. And if you know anybody else that could benefit from these live streams here, go ahead and share this with your friends and family who are not quite sure what to do with their crypto and what to do with their, I also talk about stocks as well. We can talk about stocks if you guys want to, but it seems like crypto is just a lot more fun to talk about, so that's why we're always talking about crypto here. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this live stream. I'll be going live on Sunday. All right, tomorrow, Saturday, a day off from everything YouTube and TikTok related. Got a chance to actually enjoy myself that day. And then Sunday, I'll be back at it probably around this time or maybe later on Sunday afternoon. We'll see. Most likely it'll be around the same time, 12 to 2 p.m. on Sunday. So, yeah, I'll see you then, guys. Take care and good luck investing in whatever asset you decide to get yourself into. Take care, guys.